With Lewis Hamilton jumping ship, Toto Wolff, captain of the SS Mercedes, is now all alone and going down with a sinking boat. Talk of who will be filling in Hamilton's shoes has been loud lately, and the name that pops up most often is that of Sebastian Vettel's. But for those of you excited to see the finger in silver, don't get too excited just yet. Vettel made the bold move to hang up his racing gloves at the close of 2022, marking the end of a dazzling career that boasted an impressive 4 drivers' titles, a whopping 53 victories, and an impressive 122 podium finishes. Yet despite bidding farewell to the track at the tender age of 36, whispers of a potential comeback swirl around him. With drivers like Fernando Alonso, who stepped into his shoes at Aston Martin, staging their own returns, could we witness the triumphant return of Vettel to the adrenaline-fueled world of Formula One? When questioned by Sky F1's Martin Brundle last year about the prospect of reigniting his racing career, this was what Vettel had to say. "I can't say no, because that you don't know. I think it's something that if you asked all of them, probably some of them would have said no, and some of them I don't know, but in the end, all of them came back, so I can't exclude it." Following his departure from Ferrari in 2020, Vettel found himself navigating 2 seasons with Aston Martin, battling it out in the midfield before ultimately calling time on his illustrious F1 journey. Reflecting on his future, the German racer has openly confessed that only a challenge of epic proportions would be enough to tempt him back into the cockpit on a full-time basis. So, is the draw of racing for Mercedes enough to coax this seasoned driver out of retirement? According to the Italian publication La Gazzetta dello Sport, whispers have been going around that Vettel himself has reportedly let slip his desire to make a comeback to the Grand Prix scene. Rumor has it that Toto Wolff, a long-standing friend of Vettel's, didn't exactly slam the door shut on the idea of Seb joining the Mercedes ranks back in 2020, when the 4-time champ found himself seat hunting. But when pressed for insider info on whether Vettel might snag a spot at Mercedes for the upcoming season, Wolff remained tight-lipped, offering only enigmatic responses to the probing questions from the German outlet AMUS. Here's what he said: "I think he made the decision to not race anymore. We are talking on a regular basis. We've also talked yesterday, but it wasn't about driving for us in the future. In the high-octane world of Formula One, where every split second counts, Mercedes is facing the daunting prospect of bidding adieu to Lewis Hamilton's treasure trove of experience. But fear not, for Toto Wolff remains as cool as a cucumber. Why? Because he's got George Russell up his sleeve." Wolff seems to reckon that with Russell in the driver's seat, the need for a seasoned team leader becomes a thing of the past. After all, when you've got a rising star like Russell ready to set the track ablaze, who needs a seasoned veteran to lead the charge? He told the media, "With all the Lewis discussion, something that has not been talked enough is George. George has the potential to be the next lead driver in the team. He's of the generation of Lando and Leclerc and some of the others, and I couldn't wish for a new team leader when Lewis leaves. No doubt about that. So we have such a solid foundation, such a quick and talented and intelligent guy in the car that we just need to take the right choice for the second driver, the second seat. That's not something I want to be rushed in." For those of you wondering what it took to make Lewis Hamilton turn his back on his beloved Mercedes, how does $446 million sound to you? Word on the paddock has it that Lewis Hamilton has been enticed to make the leap to Ferrari with a jaw-dropping deal worth $446 million. But here's the kicker. This deal isn't just about tearing up the track with the Scuderia. It's rumored to stretch far beyond Hamilton's Formula One driving duties, hinting at a partnership that's as lucrative as it is groundbreaking. Just when it seemed like Lewis Hamilton's destiny was firmly intertwined with Mercedes, with the ink barely dry on his multi-year contract extension signed during the 2023 campaign, he pulls a move no one saw coming. This original deal, set to keep Hamilton in the Silver Arrow stable until the conclusion of 2025, was hailed as the golden ticket that could see the legendary racer through to the twilight of his Formula One career. In a move that's got tongues wagging, Lewis Hamilton has triggered a break clause in his contract, paving the way for the dream move to Ferrari in 2025. After years of tantalizing speculation and endless rumors swirling around Hamilton's future, it seems the stars have finally aligned for this seismic shift in the F1 landscape. Get ready for a showdown of epic proportions as Hamilton dons the famous red of Ferrari, setting the stage for one of the most anticipated chapters in Formula One history. French publication Sportune made a big revelation regarding the eye-popping financial packages Ferrari dangled in front of Lewis Hamilton to seal the deal. Reports say that Hamilton initially waved away a 2-year contract offer from Ferrari, clocking in at a staggering $50 million per season. Then, Ferrari chairman John Elkann started orchestrating negotiations. Ferrari sweetens the pot by granting Hamilton's wish for investment in his Mission 44 organization, throwing in a whole slew of extra perks to sweeten the deal. Hamilton's agreed-upon terms reportedly include a paycheck just north of $87 million for the 2025 season, with the option to extend into 2026. But that's not all. A quarter of that sum is earmarked for funding Hamilton's Mission 44 initiative, adding a philanthropic twist to this high-stakes negotiation. Elkann is putting out all the stops, offering to create a joint investment fund through Ferrari's parent brand Exor, valued at a mind-boggling $272 million. Hamilton would serve as the ambassador for this illustrious portfolio, cementing his status as more than just a racing icon. Meanwhile, over at Mercedes, the board reportedly slammed the brakes on Hamilton's proposal to serve as an ambassador until 2035, signaling a clear divide in the battle for Hamilton's allegiance. Hamilton has stepped out of the shadows to shed some light on his shock call, declaring that the time is right to tackle this new challenge head-on. But fear not, loyal fans of the Silver Arrows, because Hamilton isn't hitting the brakes just yet. In a show of unwavering commitment, he's assured that he's in it for the long haul for the 2024 season, his final dance with Mercedes. He said, "I have had an amazing 11 years with this team, and I'm so proud of what we have achieved together. Mercedes has been part of my life since I was 13 years old. It's a place where I have grown up, so making the decision to leave was one of the hardest decisions I've ever had to make. But the time is right for me to take this step, and I'm excited to be taking on a new challenge. I will be forever grateful for the incredible support of my Mercedes family, especially Toto for his friendship and leadership, and I want to finish on a high together. I am 100% committed to delivering the best performance I can this season, and making my last year with the Silver Arrows one to remember." While the Mercedes boss has made it crystal clear that Lewis Hamilton won't be sidelined, at least not when it comes to the sporting aspect, he's admitted that the development side of things is a whole different ballgame that needs careful consideration. If Lewis Hamilton and George Russell find themselves going wheel-to-wheel on the track, 1997 world champion Jacques Villeneuve claims that the battle will be intense. When asked by Gazzetta dello Sport about what will entertain us this season, the Canadian legend didn't hesitate to point out to the brewing between Hamilton and Russell. He said, "See how Mercedes will handle the confrontation between Russell and Hamilton. Inside Mercedes, there is something wrong. Lewis no longer believes in the engineers. He no longer believes in Toto. The team, after all the space and freedom they gave him, didn't expect such a farewell. It was Mercedes that created Hamilton's image. They believed he would remain an ambassador for life." What do you think? Now that his poster boy status is gone, will Lewis Hamilton be fighting an uphill battle once the season starts? Let us know in the comments below. And don't forget to subscribe and ring that notification bell for the hottest F1 news.